Now take it easy, Rick. You've been in a serious roller coaster crash. It's no time to be thinking about who did or didn't play a role in your attempted murder. Ah! Get it off me! It's eating me! Look, I confess, okay? They told me about all the bad stuff you did to this planet and reminded me of all the bad stuff you did to me, but then you said you were sorry and I realized you're not a monster. Not like this thing. Fuck, it's got me good. This is a mislead, right? You're inventing a thing to save me.
That would be called a knife, Jerry. It's been invented. I'm making a way out of here. One seat ought to do it.
I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I won't do it again.
Nobody ever does.
Self-righteous piece of shit! You took my family!
I took your family? Who do you think had more taken from them when you shot 20 cc's of liquid dream killer into my daughter? She was Rick's daughter, Jerry. She had options. Oof. That all ended because she felt sorry for you. You act like prey, but you're a predator. You use pity to lure in your victims. It's how you survive. That snake survives because children wander off, and you survive because people think, oh, this poor piece of shit, he never gets a break. I can't stand the deafening silent wails of his wilting soul. I guess I'll hire him or marry him.
And Jaden Animations, and while I was harsh in my videos, obviously I was still nice to them when talking to them because I was just criticizing their content. They didn't message me asking to talk about my videos, and I was like, sure thing, you dumb cunt. No, I was nice and I heard them out.
I knew you wouldn't let me die.
That was never an option.
Because you never had a son?
No, because I need a living organism coated in kibble snake pile to attract a smooth light runner.
Wait, what's happening?
Use that confusion, Jerry. It'll make you wriggle more like an abandoned newborn.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Jimmy, your mom is dead.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Help! Help me!
Okay, quick summary. Turkey Tom, he is a YouTuber who is a commentator who has lots of hypocrisies, then lies, half lies to his audience kind of frequently. He also is a guy who likes to apologize after he gets caught, but then do it again. But no one really seems to bat an eye who seems to matter. Only nobodies like me do. So, that is intro. Let us go. Ha, it's Thanksgiving, time to roast this turkey. Ahaha, so creative, almost as creative as saying some cliche Ellis Mark joke. Hey, it's me, that guy who made a video about the whole cartoon community drama, criticizing both sides before anyone else did, as well as predicting the future. I also commented on Tom's pedo jokes, being stupid before it was cool. I even made the same visual gag that Manga Common made before he made his video. So ha, fools, everyone on earth ripped me off. So call me a ripoff all you want. I just need to jerk myself a bit to even get close to the same level of arrogance that the edgy Marco Diaz has. A few weeks back, Tom made a video saying he can take criticism very well by, not taking criticism very well. I must take my time to explain why I focus so much on the turkey man himself. With most people to rant on, they make a big fuck up pretty infrequently. Over enters 5 years, he screwed up, big time, about 4 times. That's a lot. At least, aside from one time, most of the mistakes were isolated and kinda proved he learned his lesson. Meanwhile, Tom's he apologizes so often that I could argue that he's made a major screw up every week, almost every week. Additionally, Edgy Coco Kid is underhanded. With his mistakes, he usually tries to make it seem like he learned his lesson but never does, and then acts like apologizing means no one's allowed to talk about it. And he's really bad at explaining anything in his videos, honestly. And a lot of people on YouTube are notorious for shitty apologies, and this isn't necessarily Tom's fault, but for some reason, people like to isolate events and act like if people can forgive Mr. Enter, Dapino, or whatever, that Tom should be forgiven. But Tom repeats the same mistakes he made about a week ago. And then the videos and comments that attack his character, he tries to delegitimize by once again putting some really stupid defense on it, like, it's been done before. So if you want to prove Tom's wrong from both his own arbitrary standards as well as normal human being standards, you need to do a ton of research. And I comment whenever I research because I like to comment. I'm like Justin Y, except unsuccessful. He uses mental gymnastics to prove he's in the right. And for today, making an apology video that also insults the people you're apologizing isn't avant-garde, it ain't edgy, it's just inconsistent. This video was inconsistent and chaotic enough that it shaved about 10 pages off my initial video that was going to cover the whole channel and cite a lot more evidence proving inconsistencies, but like he just kind of proves them in this video alone, so yeah. So, let's begin.
I'm talking about bandwagons where YouTubers make videos criticizing other YouTubers. You've likely come across at least one of these if you've spent any time on this site at all, whether it be in regards to Jake Paul, Logan Paul, RiceGum, Onision, and many, many more YouTubers who have fallen victims to these trends of hating on them, wherein creators simply make videos about other people, not because they care, but because they can get views. I mean, hell, it's popular, everyone's doing it. Why not join in on the fun and make that 9th Onision video for a few 100,000 views, eh? And there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting views, there's just a problem with making a video solely for the sake of views. Because it tends to lead to videos of lower quality. This can either be because they simply don't spend enough time on the topic to make a well thought out opinion or have a neat presentation, basically just rushing to the trends so that they can get their video out and hopefully rank better in the search results than the other guy. And sometimes they don't rush, but you can also tell that they don't give a shit about the topic, hence why their videos sound so boring. It's because they're bored. Despite my somewhat monotone, tone, I'm actually very interested in the topics of every video that I make. I just have the voice of a depressed stoner who spends his days sleeping, watching gangster movies, and making YouTube videos.
Can you prove anything that you just said? Like, you're saying that you're exempt from the same thing that other people aren't exempt from. So it's fine when you have a depressed stoner voice, but no one else? Like, seriously, there is nothing provable about either you being passionate or them being unpassionate. I'd like some evidence, please. Maybe just a little? If you can't, why bring up that claim? Granted, even I have a bit more evidence pointed towards you doing this not for passion, but for to views. And to subscribers, because you admitted at one time.
Hey, who put this in my script? Mark, I swear to God, what the— There are so many examples of channels that I could put here. From channels that I normally like, who seemingly also like me, to channels that I just always hate them.
I wish my ad revenue would come to me that easily. Hi again. This is a flattened box and also a hat if you try hard enough,
The example I'd like to focus on today is a bandwagon that I was sort of a part of just a few months ago regarding the storytime animation trend. Basically just said that a bunch of these people choose not to take criticism, and when they do try, they don't do a good job of it. Since then, a lot of people have been saying that I cannot take criticism. I don't mean to be the bringer of bad news, but I can, and I do constantly.
Hey dude, as a guy who's been critical of Mr. Enter and this Indiegogo campaign, you're going way over the line. I get playful jabs, but I think the line for that is drawn a long ways before calling someone a pedophile. I'm slowly losing respect for Turkey Tom. I still think he is young, so he should get more room for apology as a minor, but yeah, his window of what is just a joke and what is pushing things too far is warped. I think he takes too much inspiration from Leafy, which is not good. Fantastic, man! Do yourself a favor and unsubscribe!
Being able to take criticism does not mean that you respond to every bit of it, or disagree. Just because someone says something mean about your points, or that you're doing something dumb, you don't necessarily have to bend over and spread your puckered asshole, because opinions are subjective. They are not necessarily right, which I know is sort of hard to believe for some people. But they seem to forget that maybe the person being criticized does not agree with the criticism that they're being given, and henceforth does not want to change their content to reflect the critique that was given to them.
I agree, but then, like, the fuck were you trying to get at in your Storytime Animator video? I don't see a difference from what you're doing, except you're somehow much worse about it. This is so arbitrary. Can you explain? No? Okay. Just criticizing others for the same stuff I do. Ha 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 ha.
I've also seen a lot of people saying that I don't respect criticism when it harms my reputation, but I'd argue that Pretty much all criticism can harm your reputation if people take it a certain way, so what the fuck are you trying to say?
I didn't until this video where you say that all the stuff that critiqued your content but said you're such a goodwill person was approved, but like all the stuff that people are rightfully suspicious of you kind of being a underhanded sleazy piece of shit were wrong and bad and rip-offs somehow, even though the other content was equally redundant. Like, this is so arbitrary. What the fuck are you trying to say, man?
Why is your name Turkey Tom, but you're not a turkey?
God damn it, that is so old. And doesn't have anything to do with it. Oh my god.
There are points during which I've said, hey, I shouldn't have called that self-conscious girl fat. I probably should have acknowledged it in my video. I shouldn't have compared her to the Michelin Man.
Sorry, but when I see someone neglect to give context in order to paint someone as a villain, and then delete said context, I kind of take issue with that. It also doesn't help that it looks like Turkey Tom is lying about the facts of the situation. It's called lying by omission. But this is cut and dry misinformation. And you were clearly trying to demonize Speechy and paint her as an overly sensitive and ban-happy. Personally, I find it disgusting that you knowingly attacked her on an issue that you pretend to sympathize with in your own video, and then lie to make someone else look bad for your own gain. And that's exactly what Turkey Tom did. He decided to forgo this information. He lied by omission in an attempt to get people to believe that Speechy was the absolute worst version he could make her out to be. Even if you don't think that he actually had malicious intent, the fact that he lied by omission is something that is horrible.
Bit of an oversimplification, but okay.
I shouldn't have joked about this guy being a pedophile and then had the jokes fall flat. But there are other points where I say, oh wait, this guy is fucking dumb. I'm not going to change anything based on this video that I just saw about me because he comes off like a jackass who doesn't know what he's talking about.
By addressing him but not explaining why you think he's bad just because he is, you know, he's just bad, just, you know, nothing, he's just bad.
And I act accordingly. No, believe it or not, I do not agree with everything Mr. Enter said in his video about me. I thought it was pretty dumb save for one point about me joking about, pedophilia. I shouldn't have played with a man's reputation, which everyone seems to think I refuse to acknowledge, even though I tweeted saying that I shouldn't have done it fucking months ago.
Wow, so you tweeted that you shouldn't have done it months ago, so you knew it was wrong, yet you only deleted the video like right after Mr. Enter made a response to you.
But just for an example of how dumb this video is, the mysterious Mr. Enter literally says that Pan Pizza shouldn't have been talking badly about him when he had 20,000 subs and Pan over 100,000, yet he, someone with nearly 300k, makes a video with me in the thumbnail and focuses a good 30% of the video on me.
I mean, I'm not very good at math, but even I know that 4 minutes out of 30 is not 30%. So, I know that teens are pretty self-absorbed, but just throwing it out there.
Back when I made my worst, most harsh insults towards writers, I had less than 20,000 subscribers. You have more than 10 times that amount. Many of the most toxic people in the community are inspired by your Rebel Taxi.
Yeesh, Johnny boy, a bit hypocritical, eh?
I mean, someone could come up with an instigation counter-argument, but aside from that, it's a pretty solid point, not gonna lie.
And before you say, Turkey Tom, apologize, you fucking slanderous piece of shit! Like I said, I did multiple times, in various places. Deleting her video about depression after people called her out for not understanding depression in the slightest. But deleting a video and whining about it on Twitter that you were quote-unquote trying to help people makes you look weak. Some will say I'm running from my past, but really I'm just doing what I feel is right, including contacting this man and personally saying, I'm sorry for contributing to your harassment. If you lack trust in me that much, ask Alpha J Show or Enter himself. I'm sure they'd be glad to tell you about the conversation that all three of us had.
I asked Enter, not sure if I'm pretty sure I asked Alpha J, either way, neither of them are gonna fucking reply to that. You're not even gonna show us any of the Discord, just gonna tell us to do our own research? Again? That was like the biggest problem in the Digibro video that apparently you also deleted. Also, this comment, yay! The burden of proof is on you! And speaking of burden of proof, since I don't have any that I contacted Enter, and I freaking forgot if I even contacted Alpha J, can people just like ask or give me, can someone out there give evidence, because I haven't seen any evidence anywhere I think this might be a flub or a scam or a lie because I haven't seen it at all. It's just a mirage or something. Please prove me wrong.
I'm not saying that you should necessarily forgive someone just because they apologize, but don't make accusations when you clearly have no idea what you're talking about.
Also, don't expect people to believe you just because you say something and you show no evidence of it
If
at
I
all.
wanted to run from my past, then I would just delete the video and not say anything about it, but instead I said, on every platform that I could, that I shouldn't have done what I did.
I didn't see a YouTube video, but I did see tweets on, like, which is, you know, you don't have as many followers there, not nearly as many, so I don't know about that one. And additionally, you weren't really apologizing for it. You were very pussyfooting about it. You're trying to portray yourself as still being in the right. Also expecting us to research random comments on YouTube. Okay, that's logical.
And I also gave an explanation for why I took the video down. And I even unlisted the video for a few minutes so someone could download it so that there are re-uploads available online for people to see.
Did it with some of your older videos, but whatever. I think the real point is that, like, a few minutes, seriously. Maybe I'm nitpicking. Whatever.
I just don't want it on my channel, as it's not representative of the content I want to make, or who I am as a person. That video was way more mean than any of my other videos, and I don't like it. Jokes or not, I shouldn't have said what I said. I have no shame in admitting that. I guess if you still dislike me, then whatever. That's just how it's gonna be. I don't do things to please communities or to avoid backlash or mean comments. I do what I think is right. Bandwagons happen for a reason. While sometimes some of the people perpetuating them have bad intentions, generally at the center of it all there is one actual point that someone made that makes sense, which is why this bandwagon exists in the first place. For example, back when Enter released this Indiegogo campaign, a few videos came out about it, including mine, because the Indiegogo campaign was bad. It was a bad project, and were me, Digby, and Just a Robot a little too harsh? Yes, especially me. But at the end of the day, it was a bad project, and I don't see why all of a sudden, everyone who has said anything mean about Enter in the first place is apologizing out of the blue for passive comments as soon as he...
First!
Because opinions are subjective. They are not necessarily right, which I know is sort of hard to believe for some people.
Second, for some reason, he really likes to make fun of other people who apologized to Mr. Enter when he made that video. Even though he also apologized. But he didn't apologize as the video was made. He did it kind of, sort of before, except not really. Except Rebel Taxi apparently did. I don't have proof for that. But Digby definitely did. He 100% did. Other people, like, why? What makes you different when Turkey Tom apologizes immediately after? It's... Actually, no. He's even better because instead of apologizing on his own volition, he gets forced by his friends to apologize. That makes it more genuine, I guess. I think that's what I'm getting at here.
Of comments as soon as he defends himself. Enter gets way more shit than he deserves. I don't hate him. I don't hate his videos. Maybe I did it one time, but I can't bring myself to hate something as petty and as bad as a review of some cartoon. And by bad review, I don't mean that I disagree necessarily. I just mean the writing and presentation is terrible, which I'll maintain. Going back to the storytime animation criticism trend of 2018, YouTubers like Daft Pina, me, and LS Mark were sort of spearheading that movement. And I know this is going to sound sort of pretentious and douchey. No way to avoid that, I guess, but I don't think that anyone would argue that our videos did not cause, or at least inspire, a significant amount of YouTubers to make videos on the topics themselves. Many videos where they didn't really add anything. While I'm burning bridges...
Don't worry, Bipolar Bird. You definitely were the main inspiration for it, along with your clone... LS Mark and the guy who actually started. I mean your contemporary, Daft Pina. What did Daft do? He only did stuff, all the stuff about a year ago and been consistently uploading ever since, you know. That ain't shit. Your video had many similar points to Daft's that was made, I don't know, about like 6 months after the Spetchy review that he made. But no, Tom, you spearhead it. You weren't a follower. Truly the person who helped inspire this trend. Also definitely a lot more original than Jar. especially given that your video came 2 months after his. A true pioneer! Since you made your video in August, you were definitely everyone's inspiration! Yep, about as much influence as Daft. You and LS Mark. This isn't because you're biased towards LS Mark. Okay, at least Mark was kind of in the bullseye for it when it started picking up steam. It's not like people were making videos that sarcastically titled themselves in a way that proved that they were self-aware about how tired the given topics were before Turkey Tom even made his video. Reminder, how many months ago his influential video was made. Okay. But no one's gonna argue about how inspiring you are. Spent way too long in that segment. I don't really know where to put this, but let me just show you how it's not been the first time that he blatantly did a thing where it's like, oh, I apologize, except I'm in the right, except I apologize, except I don't, except I do, except I don't. Just throwing that up on screen, okay? Just that whole thing is emblematic of everything wrong with him, just... yeah.
While I'm burning bridges, more or less, a perfect example of 3 of these videos are these speechy videos by Just a Robot, one of which doesn't really count as it's simply a comment response, and 2 of the videos he didn't really add anything that hadn't been said before and basically just repeated things that other people had said much better than he could, which is a pretty consistent theme for his videos. I'm not saying that they're necessarily bad, they make alright background noise while I'm editing, but they're just so formulaic and he rarely adds anything apart from a few jokes to the topics that he commentates on.
Since his video came out before you, what did you add to the topic aside from, you know, lying about that one thing?
Full of lotion. Cripplingly mediocre if you ask me. And I am by no means saying that my videos are perfect, said every YouTuber ever, but when I make videos on the same topics to others, or when I make a similar video to someone else, I always make it significantly different so that I can call it my own.
The theme of the day seems to be stretched truths, whether it's the amount of really original stuff he puts into videos. I don't know how hypocritical he is, how he handles commentary against him versus others, or maybe just, you know, how he handles apologies, which are like, sometimes it's not as simple as he ever makes it out to be, let's just say that. That's been a theme this video, and that still is here, but instead of going into detail on this video, I'll just link it down below, proving that he's not very original. In one video, I could do that. Basically what I did is I remade his video, his Jello Apocalypse video, using clips from the previous week, and there were very few things I couldn't recreate outside of the personalized ending and the personalized intro. But aside from that, it was pretty redundant and I had nothing new. And I actually have evidence on, like, this bozo who's just kind of saying, I'm original, he's not. But believe me, guys. No, I have a video in the description. I would like someone to counter my point by making a very similar formatted thing to, let's say, to either Dylan Thomas's or Xeon Douglas's video that he will proceed to criticize in the future. Except for them, they'll need an even lower score. Because, spoiler alert, Turkey Tom at 7.5% of his video was completely new content, just throwing it out there.
After all, what's the point of making a video on a trending topic if it, A, doesn't add anything to the topic, or
I agree there.
B, isn't entertaining?
That's so vague that's fucking pointless to say, and you were the one talking about subjective opinions earlier, so, you know, please tell me.
Oh, that's right, there is no point. This is a problem that is very prevalent in commentary and rant channels in general. They tend to make videos where they just say the same shit over and over about videos that people have disavowed and want to say goodbye to because they don't agree with them anymore. Sure, deleting her video about depression after people called her out for not understanding depression in the slightest, but deleting a video and whining about it on Twitter that you were quote-unquote trying to help people makes you look weak. Sure, like, you can make a few offhand comments about a video. You can say that it's bad. You can make a nice little jab. But don't make another 10-minute long video about some speechy video about depression that someone deleted because they thought it was fucking dumb.
Or a deleted Jello Apocalypse video. But that was deleted too, and you still, despite saying that you shouldn't make videos on deleted videos, you went ahead and made a video about a deleted video. You even referenced it was deleted, so it's not like it was too late or something. How does this guy have 57k subs?
Granted, it seems that they thought it was alright at first, but they seem to warm up to the idea of criticism in recent times. Good job, Speechy. I'm sorry I compared you to a rubber company mascot. I probably should have mentioned it in a video. Can we stop with the comments about MangaCon when he has the big gap?
No, because it's still completely relevant and just pointing out your inconsistencies to this day. That's not how life works. I'm sorry, man. He may have the big gay, but that's not gonna fly with me or anyone else who isn't gullible. And you know the phrase "fool me once, shame on me." Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, what the fuck? Fool me 4 times, it's a truck. Fool me a billion times, like, I have no faith in this species. Why stop breathing now? No one would keep referencing it if you actually learned from it.
Even say that I have become a bandwagon topic, albeit on a smaller scale. Have there been some good videos criticizing me? Yes, and I commented on them and subscribed to those people because I like their stuff. They help me improve, and I even changed some things about my content because of those videos. The video by Manga Artist was pretty well made and I enjoyed it a lot, as well as the video by Xro Plays, which is definitely the best video someone has made critiquing my content. I've taken so much from that video to heart, and he explained everything so well that it was basically just a half-hour long guide for how to better my videos, and I appreciated it a lot. But there are other videos where I end up thinking, wow, you really didn't add anything in this video and just repeated shit that other people have already said in their videos. Interesting how you pride yourself on making such great content and being better than Turkey Tom, and how the fame got to my head.
So, gonna cite things? Remember that one time that someone else used the
Hey dude, as a guy who's been critical of Mr. Enter and this Indiegogo campaign, you're going way over the line. I get playful jabs, but I think the line for that is drawn a long ways before calling someone a pedophile. I'm slowly losing respect for Turkey Tom. I still think he is young, so he should get more room for apology as a minor. But yeah, his window of what is just a joke and what is pushing things too far is warped. I think he takes too much inspiration from Leafy, which is not good. Fantastic, man! Do yourself a favor.
Downward spiral.
clip? No? Okay. I thought he, as a commentator, would provide, evidence, but... So, this is the only time I've seen this piece of evidence, and I was like less than 10 seconds into the video he just said was repeating every other point prior to it, so... Yeah, that makes sense. Also, he had a really shitty point that... It was unique, but I'm not gonna pretend it's not shitty. Where he basically was accusing Tom of lying about, YMS, that guy who just destroyed him on Twitter, about the DigiBro video as being a gay furry. Even though he confirmed he already was, so whatever. Point still stands of it not being that uncreative, at least compared to your videos. It does have some monotony. But, you aren't a saint. Also, you said X-Run's video was your new guideline, and yet you're doing such a bad job at following this.
Intentions as a YouTuber. He's sort of apologized for some aspects of his Digibro and Mr. Enter video, this video, I want to dive into the last issue I have with Turkey Tom, also known as the lack of context he provides sometimes.
The minor point is that even his favorite critique of him says that his apologies were sort of, that's nitpicking. What isn't is that, like, a big portion of his video, his last point, is that he doesn't provide context, and he's doing that immediately after he said he liked the video. Oh my god. And I bet somehow someone's gonna call me a hypocrite for not providing enough context and criticize my video length, because I guess that's a valid criticism now for some reason. Because I provided too much context of the original video. So... What?
At this point, the amount of people that vitriolically hate me have become so passionate that they tell my friends to go fuck themselves when they defend me, and tell them that they should not be friends with me, and how they know that my friends will just leave me soon when they realize who I truly am.
Though I've always been a passionate detractor of him, or at least for a few months now, I do think that is a retarded, absolutely idiotic counter against him. Death by association is the shittiest thing. So, you're friends with someone I don't like. I don't know your content. I don't know who you are. So that means I hate you as much as him. I'm sorry that you disagree with me and, you know, have a different opinion, but, like, you're wrong. So yeah, I gotta give him credit there. That's just stupid, and I do see it sometimes. I mean, I get a little worried about how he treats people, so, you know, might end up being a whole Leafy backstabbing his friends kind of deal. I'm not even sure if he'd do that. I think he'd just be comfortable having the friends and being like, ooh boy, safety net.
And I'm sure some people will say that I'm playing the victim in this video, like Jeremiah the gamer, which I'm not, because I don't want sympathy, because nothing bad happened to me. People are just bad at making videos about other people a lot of the time, and I happen to be at the center of this shit.
I happen to be at the center of this shit. But I'm not playing the victim here. Also called me a flimsy ripoff of Manga Common because I used one of his clips in a completely different context, though equally applicable. I'm gonna do that.
I'd even say he played the victim in all this. After all, he says,
I was banned for a bullshit reason, as one of your admins reciprocated to me.
Oh yeah, a bullshit reason. You just insulted her publicly twice and then came into her Discord a few days later, playing the role of the good guy that just wanted to give criticism. And what makes it worse? You actually tried to act like you sympathize with her about her weight issues.
These videos call me unoriginal, such as the one by good old Jeremiah himself, the most godly critic in all of the known land. But because some people in the comments section seem to actually agree with the Mimi Man, I figured I would just talk about it a bit. Apart from the hypocrisy of him calling me unoriginal and repetitive, despite how every video of his is just him sitting in front of a webcam with no scripting or editing and does the same thing every time.
Editing fetish aside.
And I think to be a good or at least entertaining YouTuber, you need to at least have good editing or a good personality. My personality is alright, but I acknowledge that it is somewhat lacking, which is why I edit the shit out of my videos, or at least try to make them visually appealing, because I find it necessary to maintain an audience, and I think it makes my content more respectable.
I believe he was criticizing you for putting forth the criticism in the first place. You can't call others unoriginal when I recreated your video side by side, aside from a couple clips, intro and ending aside, because they're just talking about you mostly anyways. But you can't really do that. I mean, you can, but it'd just be, you know, kind of dumb. You do you, bud.
Said that I use insults to back up my points, but just because you use a swear word in a point, your argument isn't invalidated. That's fucking dumb. Calling someone a pussy because of something they did is still criticism. You're still pointing out that they did something cowardly and can't stand by their own word, which plenty of people will say I'm doing in this video, which is fine. It's just wrong.
Not only is that insufferable on like 10 different levels, we'll also discover that no, Turkey Tom's wrong. He just, this whole point doesn't even correlate with something he's gonna say later. It's a complete contradiction. You'll see.
Lately, I've also seen a lot of people who seem to dislike me digging up tweets I made when I was 14, claiming that I am alt-right or racist. Oh my god, I have an edgy sense of humor. I thought racial slurs were funny when I was 14. What a terrible human being. Hashtag cancel Turkey Tom. I would probably start up my team of minority hunters. But all jokes aside,
I didn't know he was that bad at math. Jeez, that was made this year. Inner point though, I think a lot of this stuff was dug up because of this little clip being a little on the overly PC side.
Well, it's good to see that our little Asperger asexual white boy can speak about all of these issues like being gay, because he's gay and knows a lot about oppression or something.
At this point, I'm nitpicking and probably missing the points I really want to talk about, so let's keep moving forward.
One of the videos that many people point to is the one by Dylan Thomas, where he basically just repeats what Manga Common says.
Oh yes, that video, that was a response to the comment you made on Manga Common's video, so it's kind of impossible to not reference that video a lot. He doesn't really say what Manga Common does, like, his point was pretty clear to me. It stayed in his thesis, basically.
So he's saying right there that he knew this was going to come back to bite him, and that is his reason for deleting the tweet. He wanted to delete the tweet before it came back to bite him in the ass, giving him the motive to why he deleted the tweet. Now we all know why he did. I'm not going to deny those tweets because they so happened. And they were really mean and uncalled for. Yeah, but they were funny. Shouldn't have made them. Oh, that's where you went wrong. You shouldn't apologize for shit like that. I tried apologizing in speech in your Discord server. You didn't show that. You didn't show us that you tried to apologize to her. Her boyfriend was more open to an apology, because you called him initially. Oh wait, the I talked to was fully aware of what I said on Twitter as well. Yeah, that's why you were banned for no reason. You fucking liar. Unlike Manga Common, I'm willing to put intent on your end. I'm not like Manga Common. I'm an asshole too. So I'm going to say this list a lot for a while. I was trying to embrace some dumb trolling persona that never really worked. It was never really funny. Wow, you have made a whole new audience on this persona. You've gotten so many subscribers off of this damn persona, and that video was made a week ago. 1 week ago. So you changed so much in the span of a week. It seems like to me that you're being called out and you're just squirming and saying whatever it'll take so then you can get out the news. And I really think that's kind of sad. I really think that's sad. If you're gonna be a trolling asshole, own up to it. You should really own up to it. I'm glad you admitted that it was you, but then you instantly ruined that. You instantly ruined what you said beginning by saying it was just persona, guys. It was a joke. It's a meme. The camera's right there. I don't like that shit. I really don't. It just made me look like an ass. You know what? You're right. That's definitely a persona that you've just been trying out. It's not like you've had the exact same format and the exact same criticisms for 2 years now. It's not like I've been watching your channel for over 2 years and you've barely changed in how you present your videos, and the only thing that you could even say changed about your content at all is the fact that now you have better artwork. Now, this is definitely a recent thing. You'll try your hardest to prove on it. Gosh darn, I'm sure you will. I do sympathize with speech. Oh, of course you do. Of course you do. Miss Michelin Man, the sympathy. I knew the tweet was bad the moment I said it. This sounds like an apology letter to SJWs just saying, I'm deeply confused why you're apologizing for cracking a bad joke. I don't even remember what I was thinking. You're thinking this woman's a cunt. I'm gonna call her fat. There, I helped jog your memory. Was just being a complete dick. Yes, you were, but it's funny. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say, lowercase I. Didn't try to paint speech as a villain. I mean, you kinda did, but it really doesn't matter in that video. That's everything I've heard. And your criticism is completely justified. It's justified, but I mentioned earlier how it wasn't justified that you tried to add motivation to what I did. That seems like a bit of a contradiction to me. I'm sure that in the comment section of this video, you'll explain how it's actually some type of circular logic, and I'm sure that you'll dance around my comment section until you can try to justify yourself even further. Instead of just saying, yeah, I was an asshole. And I deleted the tweet because I didn't think it was important. That's what I would say anyway. Instead of saying that, I deleted it because I read it. Ooh, that made you look worse. That made you look so much worse. If you got any criticism or questions, feel free to contact me on Discord. My DMs are open.
Expect him to not supply any context and be like, hey subs, I usually do Sonic videos, but I've gone insane. You guys won't know any context.
And then extends the outro of his video a minute longer to get more ads and make more money off of content that shouldn't even be that long. Maybe I would have been able to at least respect your opinion if not for that, but you sealed the deal of you being the petty show when you
disappointed he actually did extend it, because it's usually about 15-20 seconds. So that's a bit chilly, I'm not gonna lie. But using that to discredit all his points that you clearly didn't look at, aside from you heard insults and went, very good crying. I'm an expert on crying. But honest to God, he had some very good points, and I think if you're gonna do the whole I don't have to like these points kind of thing, as you referred to earlier, you should at least address the points. That's you're acting fucking dumb to just be like, oh, there was an extra 30 seconds of the video I didn't have to look at. In fact, let me compare that length to a length of one of your intros, shall we? Okay, sounds fun, buddy. Speaking of responding well to criticism, here are his comments on that video. Wow. Here's the comment when I knew that Tom would be a special YouTuber in all the wrong ways. Not gonna lie, this response is what made me just baffled by him. I'm just shocked, man. Just look at this. This is so bad. Not to mention, kinda contradicts the whole point of the apology initially. So, that's meta. But wait! There's more! Everything Cthulhu says here is basically my thoughts on the situation, so pause at any moment if you want to read this. Also, I took a picture of them months ago, so basically for a time frame, they were after the Manga Common video, but not too long after, like a week or so. I forget. If you want to fact check me, go ahead, but I'm not going to say go do your own research because 1, I'm not Turkey Tom, and 2, I don't think it's very integral to it, but always willing to be fact checked, you know. This is an admittedly lazy part of it, but I'm like 36 minutes in, you can understand.
If any of you remember that one video that really put Daft Peanut on the map about Fox Goodman, this is not what I am here for. So all I can say about this is, have a good day.
he hung up on me.
Someone with 12,000 subscribers who was basically just tracing other people's art and making bad videos. And wouldn't you know, a bunch of other people make videos about this fucking irrelevant guy that no one should care about, responding to his videos on the behalf of Daft Peanut to the point where there was no point in him responding, because everything that could be said had been said, and all these people had milked the Fox Goodman utter dry.
Fucking whores!
Honestly, here's another point I kind of agree with, especially with Fox Goodman in particular. Like, okay, first of all, punching down seems kind of dumb. Second, it just seems dumb that people get this psyched up over tracing. Like, call it bad or whatever to not credit someone and, like, say, profit off them, perhaps, but I mean, first of all, it seems like it's kind of weird for people to say it's bad to trace, but just using the clips without editing them at all, that's a nightmare, man. It's like, okay, more people bitch about Mastar Media, this guy who basically traces Dragon Ball Z and makes money off of it, more than people who just steal clips from the show itself, monetize them, don't do anything at all with them, and just no one bats an eye at them. I don't get it.
The other thing about bandwagons and making videos about other YouTubers is that they're people too. We're all people. Apart from me, I'm a turkey. Recently, you may have seen the video series by Shane Dawson about Jake Paul. Considering it was 10 hours long in total, I wouldn't blame you for not watching it, but I thought it was pretty good and I'd encourage you to watch it if you have any interest in the topic at all. Seemingly, all of a sudden, everyone watching this video seemed to realize that Jake Paul is, in fact, not a soulless sociopathic robot. He is an actual person. He has feelings. It hurts when you say mean things about him over and over. That I use insults to back up my points, but just because you use a swear word in a point, your argument isn't invalidated. That's fucking dumb. Calling someone a pussy because of something they did is still criticism. You're still pointing out that they did something cowardly and can't stand by their own word, which plenty of people will say I'm doing in this video, which is fine. It's just wrong.
Stop insulting people. Also, it's fine for me to insult people. This video makes no fucking sense.
And I don't want this to come across like me telling people how to make videos or what to make. You can make them however you want. But if it's bad, then don't expect me or anyone else to just shut up about it.
I mean, that does completely contradict your point about bandwagons. This is so obvious. Oh my god. Okay. Let's break it down, boys and girls, and everyone in between, because it's 2018, I guess, and some shit or whatever. Like, shut up about things if they're something that has been done before, but don't expect anyone to shut up about things if they're things they've been done before. Okay, all I did was call someone fat and probably should have mentioned that vague thing in the video. I mean, I could make a 20-minute rant on the Enter video, but I'll just have one out of context quote, and I said that 4 minutes is 30% of a 30-minute video. Okay, clearly you paid a lot of attention. Is there anything honest in this video? It's so disingenuous. It's hard. And like, yeah, Dylan Thomas is the one he's got to claim as being bad because he went into so much detail there. If that's gonna be the topic of your video, then go into detail on it. Hell, what even was the topic of this video? He is not... I can't even call Turkey Tom an idiot at this point. I mean, I can, but I'm sorry, but this is leaning towards the more malicious side. I'm starting to think he's just... I was giving him leeway, hoping he was just fucking retarded. Maybe had a bit of a syndrome here and there. But nope, this guy's just so... He keeps bouncing back and forth between points. It's really, really nasty. He's lying, and it's just insufferable to listen to how arrogant he is. I wish he'd just tell the truth, like, give Leafy credit. Actually, I can't. Okay, other edgy boys, they're edgy, but you see in the comment section just all the defenses for him. They either, like, he's made this intentionally like this. He's made it so he can tackle every angle. If you criticize him for one thing, you can just cite one part of the video if you think he's being too mean, he can just say, well, I'm done with that now. I'm not going to be mean to Logan Paul, and people stop being mean to him. If you're saying that that's a contradiction or he's being too nice, he can also say, oh, pussy is a good insult, that is a good criticism. I mean, these are the kind of backwards ass, convoluted defenses you see in his comment section. Oh, since he has argued for both sides that contradict each other, if one person comments on one thing, they can just pull the other part of the video and be like, ha 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 ha, you didn't watch the whole video. Like, seriously, Jesus Christ, this is deliberate.
Mars, Solar Sands, Tim Tom, and Jaden Animations, and while I was harsh in my videos, obviously I was still nice to them when talking to them because I was just criticizing their content. They didn't message me asking to talk about my videos, and I was like, sure thing, you dumb cunt. No, I was nice and I heard them out. But Bobby's doing a little more than just being respectful and having basic human decency.
That was in a video that came before this one, the episode before this one, where he's saying I was really mean to a bunch of people. Meanwhile, in this clip on his main channel where the stuff he gets the most views is, he basically says, no, outside of this channel, I'm nice to people. And I don't care if he was referring to Solar Sands or I don't know, Jaden or whatever. The point still stands is that he portrayed it as a general thing by saying he's nice to people. He always hears people out. If you want to talk to him generally, or like he was with his, Mr. Enter video where his first response was to just type in one word, harassment, in the comments, and even if you claim that wouldn't be the intention, you'd give them a false sense that you're always nice outside of the channel, which is just false completely, so that I wouldn't call that honest with my audience.
By no means saying that it's not okay to make a video about someone that other people have made videos about before. Hell, if I said that, considering how late I am to some of my topics, then I would be the biggest hypocrite in the world.
You say as you zoom in on the video, you say you instigated a bandwagon with? For Christ's sake. He knew that counterpoint was coming, so when people will say, oh, you didn't start that bandwagon, you were late to it just like everyone else. He can say something completely contradictory later, where he says, oh, see here, I never said that. You need to listen better. Even though he said both. He has it both ways. That's what he is. He likes to have his cake and eat it. He wants to admit he's wrong, but always be right. He wants to go left, he wants to go right. He wants to be calm, he wants to fight. He has no rhyme or reason. He just commits treason.
Guys, it's just a bad video. He climbed on top of a news van. He was loud around his neighbor. He's just a fuckboy. He's not the devil. And the same applies to plenty of other YouTubers. Like, geez, Kappa Kaiju, do you really need to make a video where you repeat the same things that Drew Gooden said in his video without adding fucking anything other than, ew, Lele Pons bad?
Fucking A, the bipolar bird has got an ADD as well. Maybe Spetchy can give him some happy pills so we can get this over with for Thanksgiving on time. Because turkey jokes aren't cliche with Turkey Tom, ha 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 ha. Ellis Mark is Turkey Tom, ha ha ha. It's funny Keemstar, ha ha ha. I don't know what I'm looking at. He's just bouncing from creator to this. What's even the focus of this video? Like, what is even going on? These contradictions are almost adjacent. I won't tell you what not to make. I'll just say that's bad. But you can make bad, but you shouldn't make bad. I'm going insane.
You can follow me on Twitter if you'd like to see me do regrettable things before people with anime profile pictures make videos about it.
Fuck, it's become self-aware, lad!
But just don't make shit videos. Add something to the conversation. Do something neat with your video, and if you can't do that, then don't make it. I know those views can be tempting, trust me, but just try and do the right thing instead of getting hungry for attention, subscribers, and AdSense.
Didn't you say...
I want this to come across like me telling people how to make videos or what to make. You can make them however you want.
And then you told people...
But just don't make shit videos. Add something to the conversation. Do something neat with your video, and if you can't do that, then don't make it.
Is there anything consistent in this video? Oh my god.
I tried to be as fair as possible in this, and I gave my honest thoughts. Maybe I would have been able to at least respect your opinion if not for that, but you sealed the deal of you being a petty shill when you did that.
All videos and tweets I record in this video may or may not get deleted. Yay. So I'll just tell you the only fake one was, you know, Osama bin Laden, Turkey. Why would anyone think that's real? That is the most obviously fake thing at what?
You won't be able to find this tweet anymore, mainly because Turkey Tom deleted it.
Speechy is a good person, I think. If you're gonna be a whiny cuck when it comes to this response, at least own up to it. Like, go full on Speechy is a good guy or Speechy is a bad guy. You can't just sit on the fence on your opinions and then act like, well, guys, I'm not really bad. I'm just playing a character, but I don't trust this person. I don't like that. I don't like that shit. It seems like you're faking it to me. It seems like this whole response is fake. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me knowing how YouTubers work. She just gets a lot of...
So, what did we learn today? Well, I didn't learn anything. It was all just confirmed. To put things into perspective, this script was initially 40 pages long, and then this video came out, and it reduced it to 30. My initial script was of his entire channel. This one is just of this video. This is probably his worst video yet. At least with the Digibro and Mr. Enter video, he was just on the attack. It was just an asshole being dumb. But this is basically what you see on his Twitter, on his social media, on his YouTube comments. That's what really gets me about good old Tommy here. Thing is, Tom, it's tough to comprehend how bad he is, but I know that seems hyperbolic, but I just spent 46 minutes ranting on him, mostly about one video, so is it that hyperbolic? I feel like I missed a lot of stuff in this video too. But more importantly, his defense mechanism is to make things as convoluted as possible while contradicting each other, and if you can't follow it, you feel like you can't criticize him because everything you criticize him for is a contradiction. But in reality, the one who's contradicting everything is good old Tommy himself. There's a couple more things I ought to do. First, here are some more images that just kind of prove he's big dumb. Before I go any further, this is just about him more generally. Just gotta do a general overview. This comment proves that he's never learned from the whole Enter debacle, as he will continue making jokes without establishing their jokes. That's kind of what got him in trouble in the first place. Shout out to Jeremiah the Gamer. He might be young, but don't underestimate him for his age. Don't underestimate either of them. Kids aren't just a blob of noise. They can be smart, not the most technically proficient, and maybe not the most verbally eloquent, so it's a bit tougher to get the points across, such as Jeremiah, but they can be manipulative little bastards like Turkey Tom too. He shouted me out in his follow-up to this video actually. These comments also prove that I don't think Turkey Tom really listens when it starts insulting his character and his intentions, because I think he realizes that when people are on his trail, he tries to dismiss them so that no one respects the people who realize he's being a really sleazy, underhand bastard. He just wants people to know that he's a good boy. He can take honest criticism, which is just basically people saying, you screwed up, but you're still a good guy. I don't think he's a good guy, and he always seems to get defensive when it accuses him of not being a very good guy. So he just is like, okay, you're ripping everyone else off. Though in this case, he said Jeremiah's video sucked because editing, and basically just ignored everything else. Granted, I can give leeway to ignoring more parts of Jeremiah's video because he doesn't really cut stuff out. It's an hour and he takes a while to say things, but the other people, it's not excusable. Also, I dislike the disrespect. He just kind of treats him like a meme, like he's a person, he's not a meme. But whatever. He has an editing boner, and that's why he dismissed Jeremiah's video, in addition to it being a more personal and like, this guy's a bit of a skis bag kind of video. Because, as Jeremiah says, that wasn't similar to the other videos. The other ones were like, ah ha 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 ha, Turkey Tom controversy. Tom just says it's added nothing to the topic whenever he doesn't like something, but rest assured his video does add it's a more down-to-earth, just kind of critiquing the general construction of his video. Once again, keep in mind I did provide evidence as to showing that he did just completely add nothing to the conversation aside from citing about one new interesting tweet with his Jello Apocalypse video that came a week after this one, so there's no excuse there. Additionally, what else is there to talk about before I get to the ending points? Oh, right. His points about arbitrary bandwagons is so bad that he actually debunks it with a joke in the description. I can't make this up. He basically destroys his own argument there. So did this joke. His definitions, his parameters are arbitrary. He has never made a single attempt to define them in this video. It's vague as shit. It makes no sense. It's convoluted. It's just so arbitrary. Like, what defines doing it right? What defines doing it wrong? What defines a bad video? All of these points, he never addresses. He just says accept it. Like, I'm gonna listen to a fucking 16-year-old who accidentally almost committed 2 crimes because he's so fucking stupid? Yeah, I'm gonna get right on that. Yeah, listen to the kid who doesn't understand that he commits slander by accident. Yep, definitely. Definitely what I want to do. Or the kid who can't handle apologizing just right without a little dig at the person he's apologizing to every time. Just a little, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry for that video I made calling you a pedophile, but I still think you are one because I agree with that video. Oh, I'm sorry, Enter, for being mean to you. Let me be mean to you some more. I'll stop my trolling ways. Next week, here's a troll post. Hey, Spetchy, I don't really trust you. I know I was mean to you, and all that happened was I probably should have addressed it in my video that I called you fat. Not gonna talk about any of the sleazy underhanded shit that was. These 2 comments are honestly perfect, aside from the whole random orange man is bad part, but I dealt enough with that a couple weeks ago. So I guess maybe I should, I don't know. I don't want to link them because that links to the video itself. But they are good comments. I'm getting fatigued. I'm going off the script. I basically went off the script all video. I have a script, but I never like it. Another pretty good comment. Pause if you want to read it in its entirety, you know. Back to the script. So, the main reason I've obsessed over this controversy over this year is really quite simple. Other YouTubers just don't get away with this shit. Leafy's here wasn't even as bad as this, excluding, you know, the rampant child bullying. But people didn't even turn on him due to that. People knew Leafy was in the wrong. He didn't fuck up as much, but there also wasn't as much pity towards him as there is for Tom. Between that and him being butt buddies with every 50 to 300k sub channel under this fucking sun, this sets up a dangerous precedent for YouTube. I don't care about him as a creator. I really don't give a shit. If he had, like, I don't know, 2 subscribers, 1,000 even, I just ignore him. He'd be on his merry way. In fact, I bet no one will guess what my biggest problem with Turkey Tom is. Come on. It's his editing obsession. His boring ass yet polished editing. Why? Because that's what defines success on YouTube these days. Why do you think I over-edit my videos? In part because I like editing and I just kind of figure that out on my own. But also with commentary that, let's face it, would be just as good with a couple of citations and just a blank screen the whole fucking time. People need keys jangled in their face. I don't mind good editing. I don't mind it in places where it doesn't need to be. I just kind of mind it when people expect it in places where it shouldn't be. I don't mind it if people like the editing. Heck, a lot of people came to my channel because of the editing. It's fun. It's pretty interesting to watch. That's what I'm guessing people come here for. It also, maybe I'm kind of funny, maybe not. Who knows, you know? Either way, this has not been good for YouTube. It's been taking the soul out of YouTube. Turkey Tom may have actually become laughable about how over the top his fuck-ups have been, and how he managed to screw up so often, be a hypocrite like on a daily basis seemingly, and how impossible it is to defend him honestly. But guess what? Turkey Tom, Bipolar Bird, Edgy Marco Diaz, Edgy that blue abomination from that one really boring show, he literally calls black people apes, says he's not edgy, and that he stopped being racist, then makes another racist jokes. He says he'll stop trolling before he trolls again. He's such a liar and such a bitch that and yet he expects, as well as so many comically bad shit that's happened in this video. And there's more. I could go on about this for an hour. Oh wait. I could go on about this for 2 hours, bitch. Yeah. And yet he gets away with it. Almost everyone I hear who likes Turkey Tom, it seems like it's due to his editing. Some people like him due to his edge, which doesn't really fucking work because he can't take what he dishes out. He pussies out with apologies. He tries to pretend to be a nice guy. Meanwhile, he just whoop-de-doop-de-doo, just gonna be a dick some more. But he even admits his personality is shit, and he compensates with editing. This is telling me that people on YouTube can get away with borderline crimes if they just hop on something trendy. Like, you know, Turkey Tom does, even though he acts like he doesn't half the time, but acts like he does the other half because he's fucking bipolar. But yet, have the same boring, yet polished, professional editing as everyone else. You know, I don't really want people to encourage editing to be the best ever. You know, I don't... You know who's better at editing than the average YouTuber? Hollywood, big business. Just give me all those Ellen DeGenerates and Stephen Cold Beers. Who needs, you know, soul when you got editing, you got money, you got polish, you got a team? You can be like Stephen Colbert. He has unnoticeable, yet objectively good editing. He talks about the same fucking thing more than once a day. I shit you not. And yet he's successful. And yet people get away with it. Probably because YouTube pushes him because that's the content they want people to like. But who cares? I see a lot of just awful channels. Just good editing, I like them. Oh, wow, this editing is so avant-garde. I've only seen it before, like, everywhere. Oh, look, editing, it's so good. If we let Tom get away with this shit, it's gonna be a slippery slope. So, make sure that everyone who ever forgave Tom, like Mr. Enter, Manga Common, Digby the Goat, Spectre Theory, Spetchy, Digibro. Fucking anyone. And everyone needs to see this. Get Cabo involved. Get everyone that thinks he's so cool, so fine and dandy. Show him this video. Everyone who hates him, give him more fuel. Reignite the flames. Dylan Thomas. Xeon Douglas. Because none of them even scratch the fucking surface. Because this is a slippery slope, and if people, horrible people, redundant people, if YouTube just becomes a barren wasteland of really boring, repetitive, analytical, dry voice schlock with good editing, this is a little meta now that I think about it, given my video, without any passion at all, that's not gonna be good. That's gonna be kind of shit. And I don't like shit. Do you like shit? No, you don't. You flush it down the fucking toilet. That's what you do with shit or excrement. Seriously, I don't care if this thing gets views for my benefit. Steal this video. Don't credit me for all I care. Just get the fucking word out. Oh, if I find out you steal this video and then you won't argue with me that it's mine. Especially given that I'm gonna put a little, what I like to call I forget the name of that thing actually. It's, what is it? I'm gonna put my name on it, whatever. He may think that there's usually a reason for a bandwagon, and that's true. There is. Sometimes it's a bad reason. This pathetic bandwagon, there's a damn good reason for it. We need to get the word out. That's what we need to do. We need to spread it around. Because he's growing now. And that horrible excuse for a video I just went over, it sure as heck doesn't excuse all the manipulation. We need to get the word out. So there is no argument his fans can morally accept this man who's been playing him like a fucking fiddle, who uses him like a tool. That's not gonna do shit, you know? No targeting at his channel directly, no targeting his Twitter. We just need to get the fucking word out. Consider this turkey roasted. Happy motherfucking Thanksgiving. May we be thankful to destroy the turkey. Wow, this last segment got really fucking overdramatic. Holy shit, this was off the script. I thought this video would be a bit more goofy than that. Oh my god. Cause seriously, isn't it suspicious as all get out for a guy that whenever people are attacking his motives rather than what he creates, those are the only times he calls people a ripoff? He just wants to censor us in a low-key kind of roundabout way. And despite all the unique evidence provided in this video, and despite how I went after things that many people didn't, given that it's an hour long, people won't finish and will be like, oh, you ripped someone off because you used someone else's clip. That's not how life works, buddy. I'm sorry. Let me see, what is the timestamp? Okay, yeah. About a minute and 30 seconds. I mean, about an hour, 7 minutes and 30 seconds. I'll show you that. Maybe call me a ripoff after seeing the whole video and citing examples of it. And I'll cite examples where I wasn't ripping anyone off and you can't even argue that, and you'll be wrong. So, you know, that's fun. Time for some turkey hunting.
Oh my god, what's it doing? It got big, charged for a foot, and then ran away. Oh my god, it just did a Naruto run back!
This could be the most exciting moment of Sarah.
This is the most oh my god, this is the most exciting moment of my life.
I'm gonna protect you.
useless Jupiter tulip.